All right, let's rock and roll. It is 3:50. We're 5 minutes into it. Appreciate everybody plugging in. Let's go ahead and get started. Each week my goal is to bring out ideas for you to grow your business through marketing. As you know, Tina and I are full-time agents. We have a new team called the Mike Benton team. It's myself, Tina, and Matt Keon. But also, I take what I've learned over the years through marketing by being a go-giver certified coach and following the principles and learning from the greats of our time, Zig Ziglars of the world and Bob Berg and so forth, and Bob Proctor, how to apply all that into building a business. And I will tell you this, one of the things that I need to make sure that you understand is that you got to be careful with the shiny objects. Every single day, I listen to anywhere from 1 to 3 podcasts a day, and every single podcast has a new shiny object attached to it. A new CRM, a new social media, a new technique, a new this, a new that. What you need to do is pick your niche. So let's say real estate. Real estate, I will talk to an agent and I say, all right, what is your niche? Oh, no. I'm going to do commercial, residential. I'm going to do new construction. I'm going to do raw land. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go after FSBOs and expires, and they're going to fail. Pick a niche. Pick a niche. I don't count your sphere of influence as a niche. So that's a SOI. But I don't count that because you're going to go after them anyway. Really what I count as a niche is if you want to say you're going after first-time home buyers or move-up buyers or FSBOs or expireds, that's a niche. Your SOI or your farm, I don't count as a niche. I think to me, it's just common sense branding or marketing to those individuals. If you're not talking to or explaining to or reminding people every day where you are, who you do, what you do, how you do, you're an idiot, because they're going to find somebody else because we are not that important because they're busy in their lives. All right. So what I want to get across today is that I have a whole written out plan book that you could follow step by step. For lack of a better word, I made it idiot proof for me, not you, for me. But there's 5 laws that I would tell you, no matter what plan you pick, you should follow. So the first thing I'm going to do is give you a shout out to the Go-Giver, Bob Berg. If you haven't read The Go-Giver, you're missing one of the best books ever written. Go see it. It's parable. It's a great storyline, but it really has a lot of impact. I would say the same thing about many other books that I'm ready to pass on because there are some great books out there, but when it comes to The Go-Giver, it's one of the best books out there. But he talks in that book about 5 stratospheric success, laws of success. Basically, these 5 are what I follow in my system. So I have a system. So the first thing I did was make sure you have clarity on what you want. And what I want you to focus on is understanding that you got to know where you're going and make sure that niche you selected will get you to where you want to go. So if you want to make a certain amount of money, if that niche is not going to pay that, then you can't. I don't care how much you like it or you say, I'm going to do what I want to do. You're going to fail because you're not going to meet your goal, which is the outcome. If your goal is to lose 20 pounds and every time I talk to you, I say, how's it going? You say, I gained a pound. Whatever you're doing is not working. I don't care how stubborn you are, how hard you're working, or how smart you are, you're going to fail because it's not working. Now, having said that, let's say you pick your niche, whatever it may be. If it's selling phones or cars or real estate or within real estate, commercial, residential. And then we put your system in place. See, everything has to have a system. Systems allow ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results. You have to put your system. So we know what the end result's going to be, what you want. You might want retirement. You might want a new home. You might want 2 cars, whatever that is that you want. It's all right to have wants. And then we pick your niche, and the niche will get you to that want. Now we got to put the system in place. As we work through the system, there's really 5 laws I want you to follow. And these are in the Go-Giver. Number 1 is the law of value. Number 1 is the law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. A perfect example is an accountant. An accountant will charge you $200 to do your taxes, but you get $1,500 back. So you invested $200 into this accountant, but the accountant was able to get you back 15. So you're really plus $1,300. That's the law of value, where you're going to give more in service than you take in payment. All right. We can think about your industry, whatever that industry is. How are you going to go above and beyond? You know, you see sometimes say, well, you bought that pen and the price was for you to buy that pen. And then there's another person that says, well, hold on. Let me go ahead and take this napkin and wipe this pen off. I understand that what you paid was the pen, but I want to give you a little bit more value. In here, now take it. That's what we're talking about. So number 2 is the law of compensation. Your income is determined by how many you serve and how well you serve them. And here's what I mean by that. There are certain industries that are capped off. Like if your income is going to be based upon your efforts, your work, well, there's 168 hours in a week. Unless you can leverage something outside of that, technology, individuals, people, whatever it may be, you're never going to make more than that. In other words, if you personally have a billable hour, i.e., let's say you cut hair, you're not the business owner. You don't have multiple people working under you, but you cut hair and you get $20 every time you cut hair, and it takes you 1 hour to cut that hair. You're never going to make more than $20 an hour. So remember the law of compensation. Number 3, the law of influence. Your influence is determined how abundantly you place other people's interests first. You could do that a lot on social media. When you're perusing through social media, you're out and about, you're networking, and somebody says something, you go, you know what? I have a friend of mine that can handle that. Or, perfect example, I'm in real estate, and I don't do commercial work. We just don't do commercials. Different world. I understand it. I've bought commercial. I've been involved in it, but it's not something I do. So really what I want to do is somebody comes up and says, listen, I really can't help you. I don't feel comfortable with that, but I do know somebody. And it's not a tit for tat. Like, I'm not going to give that referral to somebody and say, well, give me my 20%. That's not what it is. I want to put that person's interest above everything else. All right. So that's number 3. Number 4, law of authenticity. This is the one I love the most. The most valuable gift you have to give is yourself. Great story in the book, but here's what I'll tell you. Be yourself. Don't be what you're not. Don't fake it till you make it. Don't always change with the tides, because eventually all you're going to do is go in circles. But if you're not a good person, change. If you're a criminal, change. If you're a crook, change. What this is saying is that don't change who you are. Like, if you're not into sales gimmicks, don't learn sales gimmicks. And they talk about this in the book. Be yourself. Don't get caught up in what other people are thinking. It's irrelevant what they think about you or say about you. Number 5, the law of receptivity. The key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. He gives an example in the book where somebody offers him he goes to sign something, and he goes, man, this is a really nice pen. And the person goes, you can have it. You can have it. Take it. He says, oh, no, I can't take it. Well, see, for that person to be a go-giver, they want to give this to you, but the only way that person can give you something is if you receive it. So when you receive it, you got to understand you're doing more than just receiving that pen. You're allowing them to fulfill one of their goals. It's to be a go-giver. A go-giver is not about giving things. It's not. It's about these laws. So don't miss the message on that one. But you got to be open to receiving to be a go-giver, all right? The final law, I know I told you 5, but there's one called law of left field. This one happens a lot, which states that you will receive a lead, sale, or opportunity that you didn't expect. You may even say that came from left field. And then you're living this way of giving. It's not mystical, but from your actions. In other words, when something goes bad, you'll hear somebody say, Murphy's Law. That's BS. What do you mean? Well, I was driving to work. I was late to work and I ran out of gas. Well, it wasn't Murphy. It was you. A, you got up late. B, something kept you from being on time. And C, you didn't put gas in your car. Had nothing to do with Murphy. Well, the law of left field has nothing to do with left field. You think it's coming from left field, but really where it's coming from is all your action throughout the year is paying off. So you don't know when the law of left field is going to kick in, but you have to understand it's going to. Just keep focusing on these 5 laws. And as we put your system in place, we work on your clarity. You know this, without clarity, fear, doubt, and confusion will step in. We got to get clear on what you want, all right? Why you want it, put the system in place, follow the 5 laws. So today's lecture was really about the 5 laws, Stratospheric laws of success from the Go-Giver. If you haven't read it, you haven't listened to it, you should download it, go buy it, go order it, do what you got to do. You're missing a great book. So that was another week of class. I hope it helps. If you want to go deeper into any of this, just give me a call. You got my number, 410-610-5614. You got my email address, mike@mikemint.net, and we'll make it happen. We will make it happen. All right, guys. Peace. Talk to you later.